90% of a child's critical brain growth happens by the time they're age 5. And although children learn and grow well past age 5, the foundation of their brain, upon which all of their future learning and relationships and health has already been established.
Early childhood is the foundation of our communities. It really is the basis of everything we build on.
And unfortunately, children in Arizona are often behind children in other states.
A lot of people don't realize that nearly half of the students who attend public schools in Arizona live in poverty. And so we have a public school system that has very, very high needs and not necessarily very high level of support at the state level.
Our state legislature balances a budget every single year. So they are thinking about a very short time frame. So we have to have leaders in the community groups, organizations, and coalitions who are thinking beyond the budget year to the future. And that's why people like Nadine are so important.
You know, in the United States, we like to think that life is kind of like a Monopoly board and all children start at go and they all start with $200, but that's just not the way it is. I became involved in policy when I was working on my master's degree at ASU, and I was working in a co-op preschool program. It was a beautiful, small program. Children had wonderful, wonderful opportunities. But one of the things I realized is not all children had that same opportunity to have a great start and a great beginning. I want that fair start for all children.
In a lot of ways, at Nadine's core, I think is this real genuine belief that as a society, we will be judged over the span of history on how we support our most vulnerable and our children. And I think when you come to this work with that core belief, I don't think you really have a choice. I really think this is a calling for Nadine and someone that I deeply respect and admire.
When I think about Nadine, I really think about a person who backs up her principles with action. So she's the classic person you think of who walks the walk. Even when it is very difficult, when it's controversial, when it's lonely, she knows that we have to act and we have to come together to make change.
Nadine is an incredibly gracious person. She is also tenacious. And you put those two qualities together and she affects change in a very dramatic way.
The thing that I find most personally fulfilling is giving more children in Arizona the opportunity to start school healthy and ready to be successful. A lot of what First Things First is about prevention. You know, we prevent problems early on, we have healthier children and a healthier society.
From what I've seen, kids that stay in school, that are engaged in school, that do well and have good grades, certainly are at a lower risk of becoming involved in the criminal justice system.
Health is broader than the provision of health care. It's where do you live, what do you have access to. When children don't have food to eat, that really takes their attention and focus away from learning.
We were able, with partners all over the state, to bring back Kids Care health coverage that will connect 30,000 children with low-cost health coverage. That will have a huge impact on not only health, but also education in our state for years to come.
Earlier this year, we published a report, an examination of the impact of our work in pediatric oral health. And we have, in very clear and measurable ways, moved the dial on the number of young children that have unidentified tooth decay in the early years. And this is a leading cause of school absences.
I'm very honored when people think highly of what has been accomplished, but I really have to say, none of it happens in a vacuum or with one person. We all have to stick to it.
Thank you, Nadine.
Thank you, Nadine.
Thank you, Nadine.
Because of you and the work you have done,
More kids are getting quality early education in Arizona.
Because of you,
Fewer kids will end up in the criminal justice system.
Because of you, kids are prepared to go to kindergarten.
while more will graduate high school.
Because of you, more kids will grow up healthy and strong.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.